Hello and welcome to Vallo Vision News. I am Sydney Young. Thanks so much for watching. The crisis in Ukraine continues to unfold as the United Nations says enough is enough, issuing a rebuke of Russia's invasion. Meanwhile, Ukrainian troops and citizens are fighting back against the invading Russian forces. Emily Schmidt reports on the talks and actions as Ukraine continues to fight for its freedom.
It took this Ukrainian disaster to spark a world diplomacy not seen for 40 years.
The fighting in Ukraine must stop.
The UN General Assembly held an emergency meeting for the first time since 1982, condemning Russia's attacks and supporting Ukraine's sovereignty, calling for peace.
For the first time since the United Nations was born, there is a full-fledged war in the center of Europe.
War images emerged from all over the country. Attacks that appeared to be on a section of Kharkiv. Outside Kyiv, signs of losses for Russia. Ukrainians fighting, inspired by their president's rallying calls.
He is our president, he is our leader, he is leader of the armed forces of Ukraine.
More fallout. Moscow's stock exchange closed Monday when economic sanctions caused the ruble to lose nearly a third of its value. Russia closed its airspace to airlines from 36 countries, and Ukraine and Russia held talks in Belarus amid fears troops from Belarus could support Russia. So much remarkable movement, including this. The UN now estimates more than 500,000 people have fled Ukraine, seeking safety, with their homeland very much still in danger. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
Sunday, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced he was putting nuclear weapons on high alert. However, a senior U.S. defense official tells reporters the U.S. hasn't seen anything specific since that announcement. Here at home, Alabama Governor Kay Ivey is calling for the immediate removal of Russian liquor from ABC stores across the state. And World Games officials have banned athletes from Russia and Belarus from competing in the Games this summer, which will be held in Birmingham. Facebook's parent company has shut down dozens of fake pro-Russian accounts, groups, and pages. Meta's move this weekend comes alongside a separate takedown of hackers who have been trying to compromise accounts of Ukrainian government officials, military leaders, and journalists. Meta says this false campaign effort was relatively small and that it was disrupted before it had a chance to gain significant momentum. Effects of the crisis in Ukraine can also be felt at gas pumps across the world. Russia accounts for 12% of the world's oil supply, and their invasion in Ukraine has triggered volatility in gas prices, including here in the U.S. Nationally, a gallon of regular is now $3.61. That's up from 26 cents from a month ago. Here in Shelby County, the average is $3.36 a gallon. For the first time in almost 2 years, students, faculty, and staff here at UM are not required to wear masks on campus. The university's new mask policy went into effect last Friday. However, there are still a few places where masks are still required. Those include medical areas, when preparing or serving food to the public, and in areas required by law or another governing body. UM encourages those at a heightened risk to continue to wear masks. As of last Tuesday, there were only 2 reported student COVID cases and 3 employee cases. Did you know that March and April are 2 of the busiest months of Alabama's tornado season? Meteorologist James Spann wants to make sure you're prepared. He spoke about severe weather awareness Monday morning at UM's Center for the Arts. Spann says the most important thing you can do to prepare for severe weather is to have a way to get alerts, including a weather radio and having alerts enabled on your phone. He says you should not depend on weather sirens. He also says that you need to wear a helmet to protect yourself from blunt force trauma in the event that a tornado hits your home. UM's Mass Communication Program hosted its annual Media Day last week. The networking fair took place in the Student Activity Center on Wednesday. The event included many UM alumni who work in local TV and radio stations, digital marketing, and content creation. Assistant Professor Dr. Danielle Devers hopes students learn the importance of networking and looking for opportunities.
So Media Day is an opportunity for students to network with professional media organizations and learn a little bit more about each of the industries and then see the potential opportunities for internships.
To learn more about this year's Media Day, check out the Mass Communication Instagram account. Just search for @UM_MassCom. With Black History Month coming to a close, UPC hosted the Homage exhibit to raise more awareness and knowledge about Black history. It was on display in the Anna Irving Dining Hall last Thursday. The exhibit is a private collection of more than 500 historic artifacts. Some of the pieces on display were originals from Booker T. Washington, B.K. Blanche, and Frederick Douglass. Collector Nia McAdoo says the exhibit helps people see how American history and Black history go hand in hand.
What I want to make sure people understand is that you can't tell the story of American history by excluding Black history, right? It's an integral piece. And so that's what we do.
To learn more about this collection, visit homageexhibit.com. Remember, there's always more news 24/7 on our social media pages. Just search for Vallo Vision News on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more stories throughout the week. Still ahead on Vallo Vision News, anxiety is at an all-time high for many people. Coming up, a health expert gives 3 steps to lower anxiety and deal with stress. We'll be right back.
Create your future as a social media manager, filmmaker, journalist, and so much more with a degree in communication studies and mass communication. Visit montevallo.edu/COFA for more information. You belong at Montevallo.
Welcome back to Vallo Vision News. With so much going on in Europe and here at home, it's easy for headline anxiety to creep up and make us feel stressed and overwhelmed. In today's Health Minute, Mary Maloney has 3 tips to help us reduce stress and worry less.
Anxiety awakened. With jarring headlines of war abroad and inflation here at home, you may be feeling more anxious and overwhelmed than usual.
Many people are stressed out, many people are feeling anxious, and you're not alone. The less alone we feel, the less intense those emotions can feel.
Life coach and health expert Stephanie Manzor has these 3 tips to help you reduce that heightened anxiety and worry less. Number 1, use your senses and sniff your way to serenity.
You can either spritz your favorite perfume, or you can use cologne, you can light a candle, you can use essential oils, whatever you can smell that makes you feel relaxed and a little bit more at ease.
Number 2, when there's a lot going on that's outside of your control or too many thoughts in your mind, Manzor suggests you pause and sip on something warm, like hot tea.
Now, why hot tea? Well, when something is hot, we have to slow down. We have to calm down in order to slowly drink the hot beverage.
And number 3, turn to your breath. Try this simple breathing technique that will help you release stress.
Breathe in for 4 counts, hold at the top for 4 counts, and slowly breathe out for another 4 counts. This is going to help your nervous system get more settled and feel more relaxed.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
If you want help with your stress and anxiety, you can contact counseling services at 205-665-6245. Or you can reach out to the 24-hour mental health support line at 833-434-1217. Remember, there's always more news 24/7 on our social media pages. Just search for Vallo Vision News on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more stories throughout the week. That's all the time we have for today's show. Thanks for watching and good luck on your midterms.